Alright, we're back, guys. Redmond Rocket taking on Twisted Fusion in Game 2 of this Loser Bracket Round 2 series in Gold Cycle 6. Game 1 took a while, but went in RmR's favor eventually. Twisted Fusion with a kind of weird and bad draft that was working for way too long, and eventually got punished and killed by Ride My Rocket, who had a solid draft themselves, and once they figured out how to play, then it was much better for them. Also, Twisted Fusion had some really poor item pickups too, so. Man, can you imagine how this would be different if Twisted Fusion picked good heroes and good items? They might actually win. I like that strategy. I think other people should try it. Seems like it's got some promise.
No, Quincy, please. You always have to go with your gut.
Yeah.
Whatever you think is
Just
the best item, that's what you buy. And then
close your eyes and start clicking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works.
First pick Ophelia again, by the way. House.
Did you play Dota? Like the original one?
No, I told you like 50 billion times. I never played
don't
any
remember things.
besides HoN.
I don't remember things. I think there was an old mode that just like had you random everything, which sounds super fun, and they should bring it back. Just like you get a random hero, and your abilities level randomly, and all of your items are random too.
So like Rift Wars, except items are random.
Items, heroes, and skill builds are random instead of skills. And you don't reroll. It's the one thing. So like, you get a hero, and it should automatically build your skills for you, and it tells you what items you have to buy and stuff like that. Like what items you can buy. You can only buy one item at a time. You can't buy the next item until you've already bought the previous one. That'd be really cool.
So it's like Asia's stream. Not bad.
Okay, sure. Be hilarious. It's like your first item is Doombringer, and you're like, well, shit.
Game over.
Somebody else gets the perfect, like, I got a hatchet and a shield and a health pot and Tengas. Which you can't actually buy, but I don't know, it'd be fun. Anyway, game 2 well underway here. Magnus and Parasite get banned out by Salim. Cthulhu and Swiftblade getting taken out by Pingu, so no huge surprise on any of the bans there. But once again, Twisted Fusion with the first pick, Ophelia. They have like some sort of weird thing with Oph, and I don't quite understand it.
I mean, it's obviously gotten them this far, so I don't...
This far being down one game in the loser bracket round 2?
Round 2?
That's true. Now, let's look at the number of teams that played in the losers bracket round 1. Here's the list. List over. Because no teams
just
played.
calm down.
You calm down.
Aren't they in like round of 7 or something? Oh, round 2. You just calm down. It's round 2.
You're telling me that I forget things that you said like weeks ago. I said that 4 seconds ago.
Calm down. Round 2
round
is
2.
pretty far.
Round 2 is pretty far.
That's
it's farther
pretty
than
far.
round 1. And it's farther than round of 16.
Round 1 doesn't matter. Round of 16 is way better than round of 16.
This is actually the second series that RmR has played in Cycle 6. That's as far as Twisted Fusion has gotten. This is the second series for some teams.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. This is their third series. But anyway, they've picked up Ophelia on top of Glacius, Pebbles, and now the Pharaoh. Hellborn going with Kraken, Rhapsody, and Tempest. So wombo combos on the Hellborn side, and Pharaoh going to try to interrupt some of that. Very good counter to Tempest. Not so much against Kraken. Soul Stealer, Doctor Repulsor, and Silhouette bands for Twisted Fusion, focusing on the short lane. Hellborn going to go with Chipper, Puppet Master, and Ratchet Hag. More Initiator type heroes, but obviously some potential one rolls as well. Now you can talk.
Okay. Quincy, what you should do is you should record forfeits. You should make a tribute video every time. Be like, this team sucks, but they got this far because they forfeited every game. Just in a YouTube video. Just compile them every cycle.
I'm not going to do that, and here's why. I don't know how to do video editing, and also I don't want to do that.
No, come on, Quincy.
There was one series last cycle where a team lost game 1 and then forfeited the series, and I casted the game 1. So I could have just done nothing, but I didn't.
Not bad.
Because I have a brain tumor, I think. Did you get food? This guy.
Yes. I told you I was good.
I wasn't paying attention.
Fine. Fine with me. I still have food.
Yes, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that you have food. We all are aware that you have food. Thank you. They decide, taking some time for their 5th pick. They do have lots of extra time. Now decide actually using too much of their additional stuff at this point. But Bubbles, by the way, the 4th pick for the Hellborn team. So again, continuing the theme of powerful ults that do stuff in AoEs. And TwFu Fusion figuring, hey, let's make CD work for ourselves. Pingu pilled it off pretty good last game. That's some nice alliteration right there.
I don't think it's gonna work.
I like their draft better than last game.
I do, but I just don't see it working. Like, CD gets Kraken ultied, he gets Tempest ultied, he's dead. And he only hits one person. Like, he can't kill any of these Hellborn heroes fast enough, besides maybe like Rhapsody. Everybody else is gonna be tanky.
They do have a bit of a problem in the sense that you can look at the Legion side and say, where's the damage? Okay, Corrupted Disciple's got some. Pebbles will have some too.
As burst.
Yeah,
it depends on how he does. I don't think he's gonna do that great mid unless Ophelia comes.
And then maybe Glacius if he happens to have a particularly good engagement. But other than that, so we have one solid damage dealer, one decent damage dealer, one maybe damage dealer, and then 2 no's. Pretty much straight up.
Which is a problem.
Yeah, that's a bit of an
They
issue.
have push. So they can, you know, push into items.
I think Hellborn's push is better than Legion's.
Is CD going mid? Is CD going mid?
I don't think so. Why would CD go mid?
Well, Pebbles is going bot.
Are you at like 2x speed? So you're spoiling
No.
stuff?
No, I'm not at 2 speed or anything.
Okay, good. Pebbles is going bottom.
See?
And CD seems to be approaching middle, so looks like
I
Art's
think it's
just a
okay.
genius.
Because they know that whoever's mid is going to be soloing, and if it's a Kraken, then they can't kill Kraken. So there's no point in them being there. Kraken can probably kill them if they dive, because Pebbles has 0 armor. He literally has 0 armor. And CD can destroy Bubbles and Kraken, so it doesn't really matter who he's against. So they should just be securing farm on the Pebbles, which is why it's right to send Pebbles bottom.
I feel like CD's a terrible hero against Bubbles. Like, why would CD destroy Bubbles?
Because if you W Bubbles, he has to shell surf to get away.
Or he can
else he's just going to tank a buttload of damage.
Or he can
You can't take cover at all.
You can't?
No, you can't.
You sure about that?
I am sure.
I'm not too sure about that.
I've tried it before. I play this game. I'm not sure if you know.
That's a fair point. I don't actually play this game, so
I do play.
But they should know it is a Suicide Kraken. If you look at the lineup here, Qzane is their mid player on RmR, and Cookies is the Suicide. So.
Well, they don't know. They both suck. They probably don't remember.
Well, last game, that's literally what happened. So.
Well, they both suck, so they don't know.
That's a good point. Anyway, Kraken can be taking a good amount of damage actually, as he's eaten the Glacial Freeze. Pebble's not interested in throwing his stun. Obviously, relatively low mana pool early on, so can't waste it. And the Pebbles Kraken combo in the bottom lane should be able to manhandle this Kraken, or Pebbles Glacius should manhandle the Kraken.
I feel like this purple guy buys the same items every game.
Did he buy those items last
anything
game?
Except, yeah, and he bought it in the series he casted yesterday twice. It's pretty interesting. All ranged heroes he buys 2 Pretenders crowns.
Well, if he gets an Insanitarius, then I'm going to be very upset about that.
If anybody gets an Icon, I'm going to be upset. Yeah.
Do you need to just cast some mid-wars games for you to be like, okay, here it's okay for you to get an Icon?
Yeah, I mean, and Cannondorf was trying to argue that Icon was okay.
Oh, what a unbelievable...
The audacity.
To try to argue that Icon might be okay. Hellfire doing a lot of damage to Rhapsody here, but Rhapsody continuing to box out this Pharaoh, and he will be forced under his tower. TDL actually wanted to try to go for a kill there, has the Taint Soul available. Couldn't quite get the range for it, though. And Salim will be just fine, eats his health pot, and he's currently still sitting on 4 tangos, so... Gonna get some lane control back, and hopefully we'll be able to get some CS and some levels. Rhapsody continuing to try to harass him out. Middle lane, it is the Bubbles versus Kraken I keep saying Kraken when I mean to say heroes that are not Kraken. Bubbles versus Corrupted. At least they both start with the same sound. I don't know how I went from a Glacius to Kraken.
I have no idea. You're insane, Quincy.
At
I'm
this
pretty
point,
sure you went from Pebbles to Kraken.
no, I said Pebbles and Kraken Lane. So I
thought
meant
you
to say
said
Glacius.
and Kraken.
I think I said Pebbles and Kraken, so...
Who cares?
Yeah.
It was wrong anyways.
The point is, I said the wrong thing, which you guys should be pretty used to now. Anyway, CD up against Bubbles, 260 GPM for the Corrupted Disciple, 285 for Bubbles, so both of them using health pots relatively recently, but Bubbles at this point is looking pretty good. His Shell Surf is still available, so the Glacius really can't pose a significant threat to him with the Illusion Rune, but at least we'll be able to box him out a little bit, give Wes some solid farm. That does leave Pebbles alone, 1 versus 1 in the bottom lane against a Kraken, which is not a favorable matchup for him. So you can see the Splash Auto is doing a lot to harass. Pebbles just with 1 Tangle left. Kraken still has a health potion and 2 trees. And Glacius can't do this.
Are you sure, Quincy?
I'm pretty sure. Like,
I mean, I think Pebbles isn't going to be able to sustain this lane, but he should be able to win since he has a slight advantage. I mean, he can probably kill Kraken if Ophelia comes. They're probably more relying on Ophelia to win that lane.
Pebbles can barely combo, and he doesn't hit all that hard. Kraken has a charge and 777 health. I really don't think they can kill him.
I think they can kill him. If they get a
Glacius is
skeleton
going to come back over. Help box out the Kraken, so...
Hey, Quincy, you remember that creep tossing might come into play.
Yeah, and Kraken will charge away. It's just fine, so... In general, things going in favor of RmR. They're just slightly up in both Golden Experience. TDL in the top lane, currently at 330 GPM. He is sort of tied with Pebbles for the top farm in the game. They've been jockeying for position.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Both short laners and dual lane versus a suicide melee. Yeah.
The only problem I have with this game so far is, one, Ophelia's level 3. I mean, that's to be expected though, so I can't really complain about that. The second part is that Tempest went the Chalice build, but he did not get Meteor. He decided to go for the stun, which is, and the whole reason of getting a Chalice is that way you have mana to Meteor.
And Kraken gonna get the Bloodlust in the middle lane, or in the Legion Woods, as actually his health potion can be cancelled there by the last auto attack from Glacius.
Right.
So picked up the Haste Rune and made a nice use of it. Bloodlust can get him 270 gold per minute. Top lane TDL also went for a Bloodlust kill on Pharaoh, but Pharaoh managed to get under the tower and actually forced him back to base. So Bingu continuing to pick up his farm. Rhapsody gonna stack and pull this wave. Yeah. Tempest 315 GPM. Ophelia 156. As actually bottom lane Cookies dies to a solo Pebbles.
I told you it would happen.
You did. I didn't believe you. What else do you foretell, oh great sage?
I told you about the Tempest, Quincy. You completely ignored it.
I was just talking about it a second before Kraken died.
No, but like he could have probably 320, 340 GPM if he had a Meteor. He's pretty much on par if he didn't buy a Chalice. And the whole point of buying Chalice is to get ahead.
I think 320 GPM at 5.5 minutes is much better than most players, than most Tempest players.
It's good, but it could be far better.
If it could be better, then holy crap.
It can't be, Quincy, trust me. But as I also foretold, Quincy, CD is owning the bubbles.
He also had a lot of help.
It doesn't matter, he's owning.
Glacius doing a lot. Anyway, Tempest with a pretty interesting roundabout here, and they're going to collapse onto the Pharaoh, who pops the Hellfire. Actually going to be able to catch TDL with the Rhapsody, and there's a Tempest ultimate as well. Not really necessary, I don't think, but they do secure the kill onto Salim. Apparently there's rune lock of some sort.
A rune lock?
Corrupted Disciple has double damage. I guess he happened to pick the right rune, but he has vision of the bottom rune, so I'm not really sure if that's luck so much as I've got a ward. Glacius gonna get the freeze onto Kraken. He will charge away. Nice dodge on the Stalagmites, and he will be just fine. Also, Hellborn have 2 bottles, so they can control runes. I don't know why they
Which they're not.
No problem, yeah. And Bubbles can control runes more than Corrupted, too.
Well, Quincy, I did tell you, CD owns Bubbles. That's all that matters.
I don't think he's really owning Bubbles, and Bubbles, again, got
I mean, he's
boxed out.
winning.
Yeah, but, like, he's
200
at 285.
200
Q-Zane's
GPM.
at 220, 215, 220, and Wes is at 280. Like, that's not that big a difference. Considering Glacius spent, like, 2 minutes in the middle lane.
Trust me, Quincy, it'll be a big deal. But this is one thing that I don't like that Glaciuses do sometimes. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't think maxing the W is good. Like, it's okay for laning, because you get to box out the suicide, but the Kraken's level 6. Like, you obviously didn't make use of your W if the Kraken's level 6. And later on, as like the game gets into the mid game and when people start trying to take team fights, that Glacius doesn't have boots and he doesn't have his Q, so he doesn't have his long range spell. What's he gonna do? He can't walk up in W. He's gonna die. So that's the only problem I have with this.
And they're gonna freeze the Kraken here, along with the Catman Stomp and the Pebbles combination. Should be pretty easy kill. Last auto attack going to Cyrox on that Pebbles. So Ophelia gank is successful. I'm with you to the extent that he should have gotten 1-1-1 with his first few levels. I'm okay with maxing it after you've gotten 1 point in all of them.
I don't feel it's that useful, because, I mean, if you do W, you're dead. If he gets in range to, like, W the hero that he should, which is probably Dark Lady or Kraken, in a team fight, he's dead.
Okay, but he's probably gonna die in a lot of team fights no matter what he does. And
well, I mean, you can sit back and Q. Like that's the whole point. You just sit back, use like your 4 or 200 damage Duke and like a giant AOE, and then you ult at trees.
That's the only thing that you get from the Thunder Blast is additional, a slightly increased slow duration and a little bit more damage. With the freeze, at least you get additional time. And in a 2 versus 1 against a Kraken, I feel like it's more valuable to have the increased time.
Yeah, that's why I like it, because it's versus a Kraken. But at the same time, he didn't do that much to Kraken.
Yeah.
It's also why I feel. I mean, it's okay in certain situations, but he's not making the most use of it.
Sure. He has been rotating a lot.
Level 7.
Indeed. Which is a bit of a problem. He only has 200 GPM, but it's actually not that bad for a suicide. And the levels are definitely coming in very successfully. Pebble's going to port back to base. He has picked up his portal key here, sub 10 minutes, so really good form on him, 400 GPM. And it looks like he's going to try to make use of that by heading to the top lane.
He is? Oh, I'm behind again. Damn it. I really want to see him buy a mushroom instead of a Rev. If he bought a mushroom, he could just walk in and kill the Dark Lady.
Yeah, oh shit, middle lane. Glacius going to fall, and the Tempest Hole on the Corrupted Disciple as well. We'll see if they can actually get this kill. He's pretty damn tanky, and Norse Blessing can allow him to survive. By the way, Kraken has a Vespers with 910 health. How do you feel about that?
He does. It's reminded me a little bit about Army of Mums, but no big deal. He's reminiscent.
People need to stop playing Suicide Kraken. Just saying. Like it's fine, but
I mean,
they
they're not
need
that
to
good
stop
at it.
They just kind of
like the only problem.
It's not that
good. It's good. It's okay. It's just they suck at it. Like that's the like people pick Kraken all the time, but most people who play Kraken can only land a charge or an ult. They can't land both, which is really sad. It's not that hard to do, but like yeah, people are just giving everybody Kraken. Like there's good heroes, sure, but if you can't play them, it doesn't matter.
That was really wants to set this kill on a Dark Lady, and they don't have any vision of it on the Hellborn side, but TDL realizing that something is up. Like, Pebbles has been missing from this bottom lane for an extremely long amount of time. And it's pretty clear that something's happening. So Pingu, with the Sixth Sense, realizing that this is wrong, nothing about this is okay. Glacia's gonna find 3 heroes. He's definitely gonna die. The question is where are the counter kills? Portal away from the Tempest, and Ultimate going to go on to Kraken. Actually, this is the ulti from Pharaoh, misses. We'll see if they can get anything out of this. Corrupted Disciple, all of a sudden, bunch of heroes down here. The entire Hellborn side is available. Salim getting silenced out by the Dark Blades. Needs to be able to pop his mummy walls and get the teleport away. He's going to do that, but he's going to catch Dark Lady, and that's going to be his death. So 2 dead here. Corrupted Disciple still trying to put in some harass damage and potentially a kill. Actually, oh, Portal Keys all over the place, and there's Cookies. But Portal, as the Pebbles comes in, 2-man Kelp Field though, and both of them will fall. So they finally do manage to pick off the the Kraken. And
but at what cost, Quincy?
But at what cost, indeed. Anyway, TDL going for the cleave here. No huge surprise. Pretty typical.
He has 1100.
Should
1100.
have it pretty quickly. In middle lane, Glacius could be in some trouble as the Tundra, or the Glacial Blaster there, and Let Us Hope will fall. Double damage and on Bubbles helping out. Or Pharaoh trying to chase down Bubbles, not going to happen. And free pick, thanks to the mobility of these Hellborn heroes. So that's the other thing is, first item PK on the Tempest. He has 330 GPM, so it's pretty damn fast. He's obviously made good use of it.
He's done it before.
Yeah, I think he has.
He's done this like 3 games in a row that you've casted him, Quincy.
Apparently it's the Latin build. Or is that just the straight port? That's just the straight portal key.
No. Latin build is like no items at all portal key.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I actually had somebody in one of my games do that, and I'm like, you are the biggest. I won my lane 2 versus 1 as Puppet Master. He never ganked, and I'm like, you have a portal key.
It was probably
You're
like
useless.
an 8-minute portal key too.
No, it wasn't.
Like 8 to 9
no,
minutes.
it wasn't
It was
because
12,
because when you go straight portal key, you don't farm well because you don't have any mana.
So it was like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Because it's a stupid ass build. Like, you have to keep buying mana potions to keep your mana up, and that hurts your timing.
No, Quincy. I'm pretty sure those players just sit there until they get mana.
They kind of do that, which isn't better. Which isn't better.
It isn't.
It was really bad. Anyway, Veiled Rot on Bubbles, yeah.
Look at him. He has investment.
Does
900
have investment.
HP.
Well, he's got Steam Boots, and I assume they're not on Strength. They're on Strength. He's just that squishy.
Kraken has 1100 now.
Yeah,
so we can't fight with him.
He's fine. I'm sorry, if anybody's going for that Tempest build, then yes, you're entirely wrong. That is not how to play it. No, it's just awful. Don't play Tempest that way, please.
If you play Tempest that way, if you don't get a 5-man hole, then there you have it. I mean, how can they expect a 15-minute portal key when you don't have boost? They probably thought you were AFK.
They
probably didn't even know you had it.
And they're going to get a 2-man Kelp Field here as well. We'll see if they can get a counter pick on the opposing team's support. Doesn't look like it. Glacius can be able to walk this off. Kelp Field really not doing all that much. They're really trying to defend this tower. My favorite part about it is, if you farm well, you can actually get the build-up items and then get a portal key at around the same timing. Because your farm is faster. So, it's like, not only have you failed...
What are you really doing?
Yeah, so you've gotten nothing. Anyway, tier 1 tower will fall. In the meantime, Pingu picking off the top tower as well. He should have his cleave at this point. And I believe that's what's flying out to him on the courier. Yep. 2 broadswords. So, cleaver on the Dark Lady, 440 GPM. Expect that to more or less double within the next 15 to 20 minutes.
Increase by a third, Quincy.
More than a third.
A half.
Yeah, something like that.
Exponentially increase. That's all that matters.
Yeah, technically any change is an exponential change.
You have to sound smart about it, Quincy. See? You have to say exponential increase.
Anyway, release the Kraken right on the face of Ophelia. She will be stunned out. Gets the ultimate off, and Rhapsody going to save Kraken as he all of a sudden realizes he doesn't want to be there. But Pingu is in, finishes off the Ophelia, pays for it with his own life. That is not a trade you want, especially just after you get your cleaver.
Nope. I don't know why he does this too. He buys cleaver and then he goes to fight.
Well, TDL can fight with cleave. Like, that's one of the real advantages.
But that's not what you buy a cleaver for.
No, right. You don't really want to fight with naked cleaver. Like, that's not a good idea.
Especially versus a Pebbles.
Yeah.
Pebbles will just combo you and you're dead.
They do also have some stacks in the woods for Pingu, as well as the Ancients being double stacked, but I'd like to see Kraken mosey over and triple them.
That's why I'm having a problem with this. Like, I just don't understand. Like, I get that you want to make plays and be aggressive, you have a Tempest hole, but you're a Dark Lady. Like, at least get some farm. You can just secure the game that way. There's multiple ways to win a game.
They don't need TDL to gank either. I mean, they have good damage output between Kraken, Bubbles, and Tempest, even if they want to bring Rhapsody. Like, they've got gank potential without her. Which is the entire point. Like, that's the point of this, is to use the heroes that can gank to gank, and then TDL is just free farming.
Yeah. That's why I feel like, I don't know. He wants to be active, which I understand, but sometimes you just need to farm. You're a Dark Lady. Like, come on.
I like the Sword of Sight from Pingu.
Yeah, there's a Vestment, by the way. Vestment! Vestment with 900 HP again! There's so many Vestments with 900 HP. Oh, God. It's ridiculous. What next? Glacius is gonna buy a Vestment with his 600 HP?
Maybe they'll buy 2 Vestments.
Oh, my God.
Vestment's so good, you guys.
I remember that game? That guy bought 2 power supplies.
Okay,
that was my hack.
In Dota, they go, charges will build up on the second one once the first one is full. I don't know if that's the case in HoN.
It doesn't.
Okay, so it's just totally stupid.
It's just unless you drop the first power supply, it does nothing.
Let's think about it this way though. If you want all the value of 2 Miter totems by only taking up 1 slot, what are your options?
You buy a crown. You can buy a pretender.
No. But you also want to spend more gold than a pretender.
You can buy a blessed orb, Quincy.
Or a major totem. But look, let's not talk about this like that.
Okay.
You're making it sound like they did the wrong thing. They clearly didn't. Anyway, Ophelia gonna be caught, and Glacia is standing in the wrong place. Gets up by the Kelpfield as well. We'll put the downpour down, and actually Rap's taking a lot of damage. She is gonna fall thanks to the Ophelia creep. So leaves Kraken right on the face scrub of the Disciple. Kraken barely able to get away. Tempest Hole countering all of this, and Sphero is also gonna fall. In the end, they finally managed to pick off Glacius as well. So 4 heroes go down in exchange for 2. Where the hell did Dark Lady die? Oh, to Pebbles.
Dark Lady, yeah. Like,
and Pebbles with another kill on the Tempest.
That's the problem with what Dark Lady's doing.
Yeah.
He's trying to fight right now, but he can't do anything. Like, all he needs to do is not die, and they win the game. That's literally all he needs to do. He needs to farm and not die. He doesn't even need to farm a lot. But, I mean, he's taking unnecessary deaths. I don't really understand.
It's Pingu.
That's how he rolls. Maybe he thinks he's Silhouette. He has an illusion on Dark Lady.
He's pressing R. It's not working.
He's pressing R. It's just not working.
God damn it. Man, they really nerfed the range on this hero.
That's right. But yeah, Legion and Hellborn both have pretty similar lane wards in the short lane. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. I like Pingu's much better.
They're about the same.
But it's on a fun hill. It could go skiing.
Well, what if he put that ward on the Legion side inside of a rock? Would that change your mind?
Oh yeah.
What if you put it in the lake? Could be going for a dive.
Yeah.
That'd be the dream.
Can
what if
you
you put it on the boat?
Can you put it in a rock?
On the boat.
On the lake?
I think you can put a rock.
In a rock on the lake. Oh, is the important part.
I don't think there is a rock.
Maybe he's trying to murder the ward.
Rock in the lake. No.
Mafia style.
It's not how it works.
CD Ophelia
I'm gonna close
Pebbles
your
and
chat.
Glacius. Going to try to find some people. Pharaoh Rocket not going to spot anybody, as the entire Hellborn side has backed off. Pingu, realizing he doesn't really want to be fighting anymore, has just retreated into the short lane.
Fucking God.
Continued to farm. Well, it looks like Twisted Fusion want to take out more towers. And instead of going for the short lane, they're going to go for the long lane tier 2. Yeah, that's not a big surprise. TDL gets Abyssal Skulls. Anyway, speaking of TDL, she will be able to get the Charging Strikes away from Pebbles. We'll see if she can actually get out of this. Pebbles' combo is down. Actually, just completely missed it, it seems like.
I mean, it's good to buy an Abyssal, but at the rate this game's going, they're probably going to get... Legion is probably going to take Kongor and then go for a Rax. He's not going to have a Shrunken by the time he needs it.
I don't know if Legion can take Conqueror. Kelfield onto 2 in the top lane. Both Pebbles and Pharaoh can be some trouble. Pharaoh actually takes the stun. Kraken Ultimate also doing some lockdown. Pharaoh with the counter. Wrath of the Pharaoh ends up stopping TDL, and actually both these heroes might get out of here. Nope. Tempest finding the Pebbles. Glacial Blast go down, and the Meteor prevents him from fogging that. Cyrock's going to fall as Tempest ports back. Bottom lane being pushed in by 3 heroes. Tier 3 tower in some trouble. From the Disciple just like, I'm going to hit this.
There it is, the base push stream. And this is the thing about Ophelia, it's really good at punishing teams for their mistakes. Like, they were all diving 2 heroes top, they get half the HP on the bot tower. That's why I feel like they can Kong. They took all the towers in mid and bottom. They had to do is bait out a fight somewhere else.
I think the only problem I have with it is you really don't want to group up against the whole, the Kelp Field, the Kraken Ultimate, the Cover of Darkness. Like, that just seems like a really bad idea to put yourself in a
it is a problem, but they
space.
should have wards in other spots, which they don't. They should have more wards that they can use for Kongor, but I guess they just don't really feel like they need it. Because they're not going to do Kongor, I guess. I have no idea.
Anyway, Kraken can open on Ophelia here. There is no release to Kraken available, so this is a bit of an issue, but the rest of his team is there to back him up, and Corpool going to take another death here. Let's see if they can find anything. Bubbles with the Shell Surf. They're actually going to sort of spot the Pebbles, but he gets the Portal Theon up before the Song of the Sea cancels his PK and teleport away from the Glacius.
And by the way, Tempest rushed a BKB.
He did?
Not sure if I like it.
Pharaoh.
Yeah, that's why.
Curious decision making, no doubt.
Also, Pharaoh's buying a puzzle box with 100 GPM.
He has 200 GPM.
That's not really what you want to be doing with 200 GPM, though.
I like it.
I mean, with 200 GPM, he's gonna get like level 1 puzzle box at like 28 minutes. And he'll get level 2 at about 34 or something. Like, it won't be that big of a deal when it's level 3, which is when it's the strongest. Puzzle box is more like a snowballing map control type of item. And Pharaoh just doesn't have the fun to make use of it. I think.
I still think it's valuable. I just like Puzzle Box in general. I think that's one of the items that you should strive to get on every single team because it is as good as it is. And especially against this team, they have a lot of uncontrolled damage. So my favorite anti-Puzzle Box hero, or my favorite hero that hates Puzzle Box is Moon Queen, because there are situations in which you get unlucky and the bounces hit the mauler and you're like, well, not only have I not hurt my opponents, I've also done like 602 damage to myself. So, well, crap. And you have a similar situation with a lot of AoE spells on the Hellborn team, and it's not
I just would have liked to
that,
see a barbed armor instead.
Yeah, but I think it's too easy for them to just ignore Pharaoh in that situation. Because, like, what's their incentive to kill the Pharaoh? To hurt the
Gold?
Pharaoh? But,
Come
like,
on, Quincy,
he's
gold.
not a threat. You know, he's not doing any damage. So it's not like, oh, if you don't go on
He's not doing
me,
damage
then...
with the level 1 puzzle box either.
It's something. It's going to provide some utility. Mana
Okay,
burn.
fine. TDL bought an Ice Brand, by the way. He's role-playing with Super KG. I like it.
He went naked Ice Brand, really?
No, he bought a Frostburn.
Okay, he's got 3k saved up. I don't understand why he wouldn't go Shrunken.
He bought Frostburn, Quincy. You will be
Well,
back to where I am in about a minute.
It's fine.
Since I'm 2 minutes ahead of you, it takes about a minute.
Ancients being done here by the Legion team. Yep, there's the naked Frostburn, or Ice Brand.
Which is actually a Frostburn.
Which is actually a Frostburn, I just don't know it yet. So he bought the Mighty Blade, perhaps baiting the Legion team into thinking he was going for the Shrunken Head.
I don't know why you would bait that, though. I mean, you're gonna buy the counter to Shrunken. That isn't already good.
No, like maybe thinking, oh, I don't want to go for a Hellflower or Sheep or something like that because he's going to get Shrunken.
You buy Hellflower and Sheep because they're getting Shrunken.
I don't think anyone on the Legion side has the realistic jump potential to do that. Other than
Exactly, Quincy. That's why.
So what I'm saying is maybe Pharaoh's going for Puzzle Box instead of Hellflower or Sheep because he saw the Mighty Blade. He figured, oh, I'm just not going to get it off in time.
That's a ridiculous reason.
You're ridiculous.
But I will allow it. I will allow it. 'Cause I'm a nice guy.
All right.
I'll allow it this one time.
Maybe I'm stupid. It's fine.
You can be wrong and right for once.
Anyway, Bubbles has picked up his portal key, also has a Neophyte's book. The jump is there onto Rhapsody, actually. Pebbles, though, gonna get countered, didn't have quite enough to do it, and now it's Cover of Darkness onto a couple of heroes. It's CD, and they just get exploded, despite the Shrunken Head and Corrupted Disciple. Pharaoh now in a lot of trouble as he's getting chased down by the Dark Lady, and Ophelia's gonna die here, too.
That's
Boy,
everyone.
that was real bad. That was really bad. Is my
They didn't have
analysis.
vision of that. Like Legion didn't have vision of that. They went into a blind area of the map.
Yep.
They got jumped. They
Well,
just ran away at that point.
How did they
There's
see
no
the
way they
Rhapsody,
could
is my
fight.
question.
They saved Rhapsody? Who? What?
No, how did they see the Rhapsody? Because Pebbles jumped
Oh.
Rhapsody with the combo.
I have no idea. Maybe it was like halfway.
Okay.
Or maybe he just PK'd in to like get somewhere faster.
And
Apparently
that's the game.
though. Apparently.
Alright. That's a bit anticlimactic in terms of the victory, but
Very.
it's just kind of like, whatever. I guess, 8-2 and 4 on Pingu, 3-1 11 on Tempest. They had a pretty solid hero scores on the Hellborn team, and they were fairly far up, so...
I guess it was more of a morale thing for them. To us, it didn't really look like, that big of a lead difference.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just morale.
Maybe they were figuring, after they lost Game 2 in the manner that they did, which, I mean, Game 2 was very much winnable for them if they didn't throw.
Game
And
one.
Game 1 was winnable if they didn't throw. So maybe after that, they were just kind of feeling like crap and they don't want to play anymore. So they're going to
Probably.
take their toys and go home. Anyway, final thoughts there, Stu?
Nope, nothing.
Nothing? Fair enough.
Nothing.
Game 2, going the way of Ride My Rocket. That means they're going to move on to the loser's bracket round 3, and Twisted Fusion will be knocked out. That means they are going to be back for Gold Cycle 7, but not with particularly great seeding as the cycle starts, and iffy performances from them. They have a bit of a new lineup, but I would have preferred to see more out of them, especially after they took Solaire Club to 3 games and looked competitive in that series. I really would have figured they'd do more. This is a
Twisted Fusion?
difficult, yeah.
Oh.
This is a difficult matchup,
Yeah.
to be fair. I mean, they got Solaire Club, which is a higher tier gold team. They've got RmR, which is a higher tier gold team, in back-to-back series. So it's certainly not unreasonable that they'd lose both of them and end up bowing out. It's a bit tough, but it's what happens. Gold Division's actually not that bad.
I just hope that they won't give up. Because they're a pretty good team. They just need to tighten up item choices and what they need to do.
And team play, I think, is their biggest thing. Is if they can get on the
Yeah.
same page a little bit more, which will come as they play more. This is, like I said, they've made some roster changes to this team, and once they get more experience with each other, then I think they've got
Probably
the potential.
drafting experience.
Yeah, stop first picking Ophelia.
Freaking draft.
For the
Oh my
just stop it. It's not. It doesn't work.
It's like
And
Ophelia into Glacius. That's like what B-Kid used to do.
look, I would get it if it were like
It's like
Handskin
Bolas.
Ophelia or something, and you're like, this guy is so good with this hero that we have to make sure he gets it. And it's not that Corpool is that bad an Ophelia player, but he's definitely not at the point where you think this guy needs to play Ophelia every single game or as much as
Yeah,
possible.
you're
It's
not
just,
scared of Ophelia. You're not
it's
scared
just
of his
not worth
Ophelia.
it. Yeah. Please, Salim. Please. Just stop. It's not working for you. Oh well. Hopefully they did learn something, as they are going to leave Gold Cycle 6 right now. RmR will be moving on to the 3rd round of the loser's bracket. And that's going to do it for this series. RmR taking it 2-0.